Thank you. These videos make everybody look better. I'm really humbled to be before you this evening. First of all, I want to thank Dr. Mark Nemec and VP and Athletic Director Paul Schlickman and the Hall of Fame Committee, both for the great honor, but moreover, it was pointed out, putting this off. They reminded me that there's no steps on this side of the podium, and make sure that I go down that way afterwards, because the reason I wasn't here last year is that I decided to try walking and texting at the airport in Houston at the Final Four. I can advise you that it's not a good idea, especially if you're standing next to a curb. And when I was much younger, you just bounce back up again. You don't bounce back up again now when you go off a curb. It was sort of funny because I laughed because the year before, and I'm a Mets fan, and Keith Hernandez went off a curb in New York City. And I kept saying to myself, how could he get this, having to go for 6 shoulder surgeries after falling off a curb in New York City? And there I am laying in the emergency room down in Houston, having done the same thing. First of all, by the way, I don't recommend getting quadriceps ruptures. That definitely doesn't work too well for you. But I want to congratulate those who were elected with me in 2023. First of all, Monica Yahima Herman, Kelly Boudreau Wasliger, Beth Lafredo, Brittany Hunter Kozlensky, Tucker Nathans, and the men's basketball team from 1977-78. And then I also want to pass on my congratulations to a lot of you that are in this room that I saw actually compete while I was here. And that's Ann Burgoyne, field hockey, Bob Usler, who didn't compete, but worked with us from the day that I first got here doing the games. So we've spent a lot of time together. And Tyler Nelson not only got stuck playing basketball here, but he also got stuck in my class, and he survived. Ryan Plord, baseball. Paulina Rice, women's tennis. Wayne Gibbons, who I didn't get the chance to play because I was down at Fordham University at the time, but again, congratulations to Wayne for all of the achievements he had. And then the football team from 1998. Those guys did a great job here. I remember when they had a struggle at the beginning, being all freshmen, and then finally made it in 1998 to being the champions of the MAC. So congratulations to all those guys. And not only for what they've done while they were here, but what they've done subsequent to being here. So I've been here for almost 30 years, even though it was 23 as the athletic director. Yeah, I'm still here yet. And it's kind of ironic that we're in this building tonight because I teach in the Dolan School of Business now, and I teach leadership and sports management in room 216. So anybody wants to stop by and harass me on a Tuesday, I'm there. I have 2 degrees from Fordham University, and having worked there for 5 years, plus I will follow the Jesuit methodology, and it was reminded to me today when I was at Father Allen's Mass, that you usually try to focus on 3 things. And I didn't figure it out till I started to put this together, that actually helps you put things into perspective when you limit yourself to 3 things. So first and foremost, while I didn't graduate from Fairfield, this has really become a home for me. When I look out in the room tonight, I feel like I'm at a family gathering. That's what it comes down to. Only I enjoy this a lot more than some of my family gatherings that I've been to over the years, as some of you can probably attest at your families. Over the years when I've been asked what keeps you at Fairfield, it's the people. I mean, there's a sense of friendship, common purpose, and values that is difficult to find in the workplace. And I still remember a couple of the first visitors that came to my office, and I don't know how they found it because at that time the athletic director's office was in a back corner of the recplex. So 2 of my first visitors were Father Victor Lieber, who was the chaplain to athletics at that time, and football, and Father Larry O'Neill, and another great Jesuit. Larry became a really good friend and provided me with a lot of sage advice over the years. When Larry spoke, I listened, believe me. When he became our athletic chaplain, which he sort of did reluctantly, and Father Von Arx will remember that he was a little bit afraid of, being down there and how much time it was going to take and whatever. Once he got to meet everybody, he started going to more things than I think he ever thought he was going to go to that had anything to do with athletics after that. But he was the person he was a very popular stop for all of the student athletes, coaches, and staff. Age meant no difference. He related to everyone. And he was really an education to me at Fairfield. Hall of Famer Don Cook, who was at the time the athletic director at Sacred Heart University and one of my predecessors here, invited me to go to the Sheehan Center breakfast the first year that I was on the job here to introduce me to the community and tell me these are some people you should get to know. And then, of course, George and Millie Bisacca adopted me into their family. And I must confess, there was no restaurant in this community that could match Millie's cooking, and no better wine connoisseur than George. The best, really, was the conversations that we had that accompanied dinner that really talked all about Jesuit and all about Fairfield University. As I once told my first president, Father Aloysius Kelly, I said, when Jim Fitzpatrick retires, it will take at least 3 people to replace him. He chuckled and said, "You are probably right." And I think Fairfield has found out since Jim has retired that he's much needed around, even though he's not full-time anymore. My first boss here, direct report, was Bill Miles, who had been the chairman of the Board of Trustees. And I can't tell you how much I thought I knew about athletics that I didn't know that I needed to start applying business principles to athletics. And Bill knew exactly how to work with the Board of Trustees and work with everybody around the institution. And I had you want to talk about lessons in life, listening to him every day was a lesson for me in terms of learning how to really put all of this stuff together. And from my previous life as a basketball coach at Archbishop Stepinac, I became a pretty good friend of Larry Rafferty, unfortunately no longer with us, and he became one of my guardian angels on the Board of Trustees here at Fairfield. And I still enjoyed, up until he passed, getting together with him during summers. I mean, not that it had anything to do that he would invite me over to Shinnecock to have breakfast or lunch or whatever, but they're pretty good places to go. When you take a look at it, 2 presidents that I worked for here, Mark Nemec and Father Von Arx, are here tonight to celebrate with me, which is, I can't say enough about that. And we've got Board of Trustee members. We've got Brian Hull here with us, and another person that really helped us so much with getting our Friends program started, Rob McMahon. Little did he know when he came over to visit me and said that, I really want to help out here and whatever. You think there's something I can do with athletics? How many years later? 15? And Rob really got that going and going well, and he just passed the torch now to one of the former players here at Fairfield, Jack Burridge, who I think is going to do a great job with that too. And today, my time at Fairfield, I still know the students pretty well because I have 30 of them in my class now. And at 75, I think I still relate. Maybe they don't think I do, but I think I do. And, it's kind of interesting because I'm not an easy A. Anybody, and I think Kelly Balmer, who's here, and a few other people that have had me in class know you had to do the work to get anywhere. So my great satisfaction with my students today, and like I said, it's ironic that I'm actually in the same building that I teach, is taking my experience. They can get anything they want out of a textbook, but the ability to be able to impart experience to them and what it really means to me is a great deal of satisfaction. And even today, some of you that are in the room that are here, for other Hall of Fame attendees, coming up to me and said, when people come up to you and say that, they really appreciated my being a mentor to them. I don't know how much that they understand how much that really means, okay? Because everybody in life wants to feel like they're helping people out, and so I really appreciate that. Second, I've had a lot of time to take a look at what's happened here at Fairfield over the years, and I think you've heard a little bit about that from Mark and from Paul. But as I went around campus today, it wasn't lost on me when I passed the Mahoney Arena, the Kelly Center, the Walsh Athletic Center, Conway Field at Rafferty Stadium, the now Don and Chris Cook Baseball Diamond, University Field, Lessing Field, Alumni Softball Field. I just looked around in amazement. Let me take you back to 1994 when I first got here. This building was a grassy hill. The baseball field provided many splinters for those who decided to go to games. The soccer field press box was a dorm room in Loyola. The softball field was right across the street over here, and they didn't have a backstop. Only basketball had dedicated locker rooms and coaches' offices. The rest of the coaches all had one communal area, and there was basically, most of the people came dressed for games. That's what Fairfield was, and that's not that long ago when you think of 1994. So be proud of yourselves for all that you've been able to accomplish here at Fairfield in a very short amount of time. I do consulting work now, and I've been to places where they haven't done anything with their campuses in like 25 years. And you just look at the great things that are part of Fairfield. Third, and I think the most important thing, this is not really my honor. And while I appreciate this, as I prepared this invitation, it became very clear to me, the only reason I'm up here is because of all of you. I would not, in any way, shape, or form, been able to accomplish any of the things, or I look at it this way, the things that got accomplished on my watch were really a credit to all of you, and a number of you that were on my watch are going into the Hall of Fame tonight, and that gives testament to that. And not the least of which is not only hard work and generosity, but monetary support for the program, which has been very, very good over the years. So I am really grateful to have been a steward for your efforts and proud to have shared them with you and share with you tonight. I'm confident that the future successes will continue to surpass what was accomplished. You and future generations of Stags will continue to strive for the Magis and live as men and women for others. And I will copy one thing from Dr. Nemec: go Stags!